Hello everyone who is following the channel. Today, we will witness one of the most impressive and strange moments at a large fishing port, where a giant grouper weighing nearly a ton was brought ashore. So large that it could not be transported by any conventional means. What happened next will surely make you unable to take your eyes off the screen. Right at the port, amidst the cold steam rising from giant iceboxes, is a shocking image. A grouper so large that it had to be lifted by industrial cranes. With sharp teeth, thick scales like armor, and a giant body covered in sea mud, this creature looks like a monster from a fairy tale. But this is not fiction. This is a real trophy from the ocean floor. Veteran fishermen say they have never seen a grouper of such size. The workers at the port, who are used to handling hundreds of tons of seafood every day, today also had to unexpectedly step back to plan to cut the fish on the spot. Unable to put the fish on the factory line because it was too big, the group of workers decided to handle it manually. They equipped themselves with large chopping knives, industrial axes, and one by one began to divide the fish body into many massive chunks of meat. Each cut echoed in the humid space, the strong smell of fish blood mixed with the sound of the sea breeze. Creating an atmosphere that was both mysterious and dramatic. The audience could easily see the thick, dark red chunks of meat being separated from the fish body like giant slabs of foreign beef. Each piece could weigh tens of kilograms, and was immediately placed in large boxes next to it. Another team took care of freezing, keeping it cold, and noting the size and code, because this type of fish would certainly be auctioned at a very high price. Although this work does not take place in a modern factory. All operations follow strict hygiene procedures. The processing area is continuously sprayed with water. Blood and excess meat are collected, and workers wear protective gear to ensure the product meets export standards. But what is more impressive is that everyone is overwhelmed by the true size of the fish. It is so large that it covers the entire walkway at the port, occupying an area that normally holds several tons of seafood. Curious people flock to watch. Everyone takes the opportunity to take pictures and videos, knowing that the opportunity to witness a scene like this is extremely rare. Experts say that such giant groupers usually live at a depth of more than 300 meters. Making them very difficult to access. Catching it is thanks to a combination of luck, modern equipment, and the fisherman's extensive experience. A small mistake in pulling the net can also cause the fish to escape and disappear into the sea. It should also be added that the economic value of a giant grouper lies not only in its mass, but also in the quality of its meat. Luxury restaurants are willing to pay a few kilograms of fresh meat from this fish, because the giant grouper meat has a firm texture, little fat, high sweetness, and is very popular in steamed dishes, sashimi or salt grilled. After many hours of stressful processing, the giant grouper is finally divided into large blocks to be loaded onto specialized trucks. From there, it continues its journey to processing factories, distributed to high-end markets and international processing points. After each piece of bright red fish meat is chopped off the massive body of the grouper, the team of workers continues the processing process. The head of the fish, weighing nearly 100 kilograms, is carefully kept to sell to restaurants specializing in steamed fish head dishes. This is considered the rarest part. because the skin on the head of the grouper is very thick, crispy, with a layer of fragrant gelatin, and can become a specialty dish if processed properly. If you ever thought seafood was just a product to eat, think again. Behind every slice of fish is a whole world, of workers, of kitchens, of global trade, and of emotions. And here, we have witnessed a memorable chapter in that story. Thank you for continuing to accompany the channel. If you find this video unique and valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to follow so you don't miss the next exciting ocean exploration journey. But while a giant grouper is causing chaos in a fishing port because of its monstrous size, somewhere else, off the coast of Japan, a completely different battle is taking place. It is no longer a single fish, but an ocean of fish, hundreds of tons, in one cast, moving on to the waters of Japan, where industrial fishing fleets operate around the clock, continuously, precisely, and with astonishing efficiency. Here, Japanese fishermen do not wait for the fish to come to them. They track, trace, and surround the giant school of fish with a closed system of purse-seine nets. Each time they cast their nets, they target not just one species, but a whole school of herring, mackerel, croaker, and snapper, all of which are sucked into a giant net bag hundreds of meters in diameter. Scenes that seem like they only exist in movies, a net full of fish, stretching across the sea, the silvery glint of millions of fish splashing in the dawn light. Every step, every movement is controlled from the electronic cabin, where the radar scans the sea surface, where the computer calculates the coordinates of the migratory fish currents. But below deck, there are still men in rubber raincoats, hands controlling the winch, feet firmly planted on the slippery deck, pulling up each meter of the net, covered in sweat. The air is stuffy with the smell of fish, seawater, the sound of the engine, the sound of the cables screeching, and the sound of fish hitting the ship's side, creating a lively symphony in the middle of the ocean. And then, when the net is fully pulled up, the fish pour down like a waterfall, a moving carpet of fish, hundreds of tons of fish, pouring onto the deck, up to the ankles. Here, the fish are no longer individual fish, but a mass of living goods, needing to be sorted, frozen, packaged and shipped the same day. Every minute of delay is a risk to quality. Every trip is a strategic battle, where the smallest mistake can cause the entire catch to drift away. And that is the difference in the Japanese fishing industry, where technology and labor become one. Where fishermen are not just fishermen, but warriors, experts, and keepers of the pulse of an industry worth billions of dollars each year. In the eastern seaboard of Japan, where waves beat year-round and migratory fish create dense underwater routes. Giant fishing vessels still operate like tireless machines. On board are dozens of sailors, each taking on an important position: the net winch operator, The radar tracker, the monitor of the frozen storage system, the person who sorts the fish right after the net is pulled in, all working like a rhythmic, precise machine, not allowing a single link to be out of alignment. Unlike the small fishing boats in Southeast Asia, Japanese fishing boats are real floating fortresses, up to 70 meters long. 3 decks high, equipped with the most modern technology. Each boat can drift offshore for 10 to 15 days at a time, catching hundreds of tons of fish each day, working day and night without rest. All for a single goal: to catch the migratory fish at the right time, at the right place, and exploit him to the maximum. Whenever the sonar system detects a dense mass of movement under the sea, within a few minutes, the crew will be alerted. GPS-equipped buoys are dropped, marking the edge of the fish school. Then, the net is lowered like a giant arm, surrounding the entire school from below. The fish have no way to escape. They are surrounded by a soft but impenetrable wall, bit by bit being squeezed into the central net bag. The scene of pulling the net goes on for hours. The winch starts to turn. The net is gradually collected meter by meter, and then, the sea surface begins to swell. Millions of fish rise up through the mouth of the net, struggling like a living stream. Waves of fish crash against the hull, flooding the deck, turning the deck silver with fish scales reflecting in the sunlight. Each haul can hold up to 200 to 300 tons of fish, enough to fill the ship's holds. The sorting team works right on the deck. Mackerel, sardines, herring, croaker are divided into separate containers. Some fish are kept intact. Deep frozen on the spot. Others are pre-processed, cleaned, and vacuum-packed according to export standards. There is no need for onshore processing plants to wait, while the ship is still at sea. Data on weight, fish type, and catch quality are transmitted to the company headquarters. There, orders are pre-arranged. As soon as the ship docks, all goods are transferred directly to refrigerated trucks for distribution to supermarkets, restaurants, and international partners, without wasting a single hour. Japanese fish are loved all over the world not only for their freshness, but also for the way they are caught, responsibly, with standards, and with philosophy. Japanese fishermen understand that the sea is not an endless storehouse. Therefore, despite harvesting hundreds of tons every day, they still strictly adhere to fishing grounds, spawning seasons, minimum sizes, and even the percentage